Hello everybody and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today I'm going to be doing some little jobs in the garden, so I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be doing for today. It's mostly like just weeding up and tidying up some of these containers, getting the little weeds out and that, so I'm going to show you that process. So just watch and share with me. If you want to leave a comment in the comment section and I will get back to you on them. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing. Right everybody, so I've got this bit of my garden, I've got to weed it out. I left it a bit because some plants was coming through, but we've had a lot of rain, so everything's decided to grow up a bit. So I'm just going to get out as much of these weeds as I can. Got some stinging nettles, I should have put on a longer sleeve. Got some stinging nettles here. Try and get the roots out. They keep coming up every year, but it's one of those things. I know this is one of the jobs what no one likes doing. I don't particularly like doing it, but it's got to be done. Get all these kind of things coming up. They only come up because of the rain. Put that in the bucket. And when you're weeding up, it's hard to see what to pull up really, but that's why I always end up pulling up a lot of different things. It's nice to air the bees out. Bees are out now. Don't know if that's a plant or not. See, because like when I see these kind of things, I just pull them up. There might be flowers or whatever, but I and when I pull up things, you know, you just pull up everything that you see just to tidy it up a bit. This is where I have to be careful because I haven't got long sleeves on. But the stinging nettles will always keep coming up. Let's get this one down in between first. Someone was saying that you can put the nettles in a bucket and then just leave them in there with, let the water come into them. You can use the water to as a fertilizer sort of. So I'm going to do this, and once I've done this one, I'm going to show you what else I'm going to be doing out here. Right, so I've got most of it out, I've got all the nettles out. Just going to check these pots. When I finish, I'll show you what's going on in there. Right, so that's that side of the garden. I won't get all the small weeds out, but I've got most of them ones out what I want to get out. Right, so going over to my other side of the garden. I've got some of these pots with my lilies in there, and these little weeds keep coming up. So I'll get those out. This is on the mint, but I'm going to pull it off. I don't know if it was a moth or part of the mint plant. I'll just pull that bit off. And that mint really smells strong. You can see I've got my strawberries in coming along nicely. I've picked some already. So I'm just going to try and get to this pot up here. You get these weeds and always come up. They're a bit of a nuisance, but I'm going to try and get them out when I can. Without pulling out any of the other bulbs. Right, so that's that one. These are my onions. I just look between them and just pull out any little weeds you can see. I mean, these are the shallots, sorry. You can see these are coming along really nicely. Just picked a bit. You can see they're a bit waterlogged because you can see the water, the rain that we've been having lately. So that's those. You can see my sweet potatoes, what I've got a load of slips off of. You can see I put it outside in a pot with no water or anything, and you can see it's still sending off. So I don't know how many I've got off of one of these already. You can see this is a different variety. You can see the root system is just unbelievable, and that will still send out because you can see the potato itself is still quite firm, so that will still send out the plant. So you can see the root system, what's on it is quite a big root structure what's on it, but I don't need any more, so I put them out. Still got a load to give away, so that's where we are with those. Right, so my next job now, I've got these tomatoes and that, which I don't know if they're, I think they can go another week or so before I tie those off. But as you can see, what I always say about my potatoes, you can see that they've gone wild again. This is what always happens, but I've never seen them grow so much this year. You can see the growth what's on them, how long they are. There's a lot of growth on them, and you can see already that they're starting to flower. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can tidy this one up a bit bit and string it up so that it's less of a nuisance. So I'll be back with you in a minute. Right everybody, so what I've done, I just managed to bunch them up together and tie them as a group. I know it's not really ideal, but when they're overhanging and everything, they're taking up a bit too much space. So, and they're smothering out some of the light as well. So I just tie those off so that they can grow upright. And then you can see, see that they're flowering already. So I think I planted these the middle of March. I think I planted them. We're now in June. So that's the amount of growth what's on them already. But I've never seen them grow this tall before. So I'm just hoping that they don't just grow like that and then there's no potatoes again, which is what keeps happening. But I'm gonna leave them until when they die down, and then I'll show you when I'm harvesting them. So hopefully there'll be something down there. Right, so the next step what I want to do now is I want to tie off some of my tomatoes over there. So that's going to be my next job. So I'm just going to get the ties and then I'll show you that process. Right, so just going to tie off some of these tomatoes what need tying to the pole. If I can reach them. As you can see, they've got some nice bunches of tomatoes on them. So those are the ones what I can reach at the moment. The other ones seem okay. But like once they start sending out more flowers, then I'll pick off these side shoots what's not doing, and then it sends it up the pole. So that's where we are with those. Right, so we've got the bees coming out at last, so that's another bonus to the garden. Put my onions in there. Right, so those are the few little jobs I've got to do in the garden today. Right, so I'm going to show you what's going on. We're on the bank holiday weekend again, and we had a lot of rain, so everything started to shoot off a bit. So I'm going to show you what's going on. That's my plot, my flowers and that what's starting to come up. I've weeded up some of it. Just going to let some of them come up a bit higher, and then I'll weed it out again, because I've still got like some of these coming out. I've got my gladiolis what always come up every year, so those are starting to sprout out, so you know I can't really pull too much at the moment. I've got my lilies what are starting to send out the bulbs for flowering. I've got some flowering ones over there. I think they'll Del something, I think they're called. I can't remember the name of them. Got all my flowers and everything. You can see they're nicely flowering and everything. Got my Rashido down there, what's coming along nicely. You can see it's nicely, they're nicely starting to fold now. So I'm going to be using some of those soon. I've got my broccoli lily. As you can see, I picked some already and it's starting to send out the sprouts again. And I've got my can't remember what these was in here. Can't remember what these ones were. So I'll get back to you on those. I'm not sure. I think these are no, this is the kale and this is the broccoli. Right, so these are the kales, and then you can see my beetroots are coming on nicely. My flowers pots, you can see they're nicely flowers, got some nice flowers in there. Got my 2 Scotch bonnet peppers, what's just on my bin. You can see they're starting to send out the flowering buds already. But because of space and I don't want to leave them down for the snails, then I'll put them up higher. I've still got my spinach, used some of it already, and my chard. You can see I've got to pick some out because it's getting this on there. Don't know what these plant diseases are, but that's what it was happening to them at the moment, some of the leaves. So I've got to pick that and use it. My carrots, you can see coming along nicely. You can see the tops of them and everything. My cucumbers are still doing okay. This is one of my sweet potatoes. You can see it's starting to send out the runners now, but we haven't had the heat what we need. Stinging nettles I haven't stung me because I'm itching now. Right, that's my pumpkin and my outdoor cucumber, which is starting to run as well. So you can see that they're starting to flower. That actually I might just put a tie on that quickly so that it grows up over here. So that'll keep it there. So you can see it's starting to flower already. Cucumber starting to flower already. Got a little one on there. Another one up there. So, and the pumpkin. This is another pumpkin here. You can see it starting to flower as well. And my cherry tomatoes in that. You can see there's some nice bunches on them already. My lettuce is starting to come up now. I've put a lot of salad leaves and seeds in there, so that's all these little ones. What you just, when you're ready, you just pick off what you want and use it. And I put some cut and come again ones in there as well, so they're in there. Right, let's come over this side. These are the broccolis what you saw me plant. I think it was on the last video. They're doing alright so far. You can see my French beans. I planted some seeds, I haven't seen any yet, but these ones are starting to sort of hold on a bit. They're starting to sprout out again and send out runners, so I don't know what would happen to them. I don't know what pecked them down or pecked them off or what happened there. These are my other broccolis. You can see they're coming along nicely because those ones was planted out before. My French beans, you see them starting to send out the runners now, start to run up the poles, so that's all good. My courgettes starting to flower. You can see they've got little courgettes on them, but I don't think these ones are going to stay because they haven't been fertilised. We haven't got a lot of bees around yet. Then you see my tomatoes. This is my one of my sweet potatoes. It's starting to come on now. Starting to send out the runners. So you can see there, it's got the running tip. My onions and my garlic. I can't see any garlic in here, unless these are thin ones are them. But the amount of garlic what I put in there, I should be seeing garlic, but I ain't seen any. So I don't know if I might drop a few more in there and then see what happens to those. Right, my potatoes you seen me just tie up a minute ago. They're taking up a bit of space. These are my shallots, as you can see they're doing quite well. And I've still got some coming out and sprouting, so they're doing quite well. This is another one of my courgettes, that one's starting to flower up. My basil. And then my cut and come again lettuce, what you saw me plant last time. My corns, which I planted, well they're looking okay, but you can never tell with them, so hopefully this is the last lot I put in, so hopefully they'll take off. You can see I've got some in groups of 2s and 3s, but I had to leave it because of the roots, which you saw me mention on the last video. And you can see my rosemary and my parsley, which I put over the back. So those are doing nicely there next to my thyme. You see my mint, and I've got some chives in here as well, and some fennel. So that's my garden, how it's coming along up to now. Everything's coming all along nicely. So I hope you all enjoy this one. If you did, please remember to like, share and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell another friend. Don't only just watch the channel, take part in it as well. That's what we want to see happen, for everybody to take in part. Leave your comments and tips for other growers as well. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one, and happy gardening to all of you.